So here we go, we're back again with another tier 4 video, and this time I'm going to keep it a bit of a secret in the onset, just because I want to talk about a couple of things regarding my next tier 4. Because honestly, I don't really want to tier 4 anybody. But then again, if you've been keeping up with me on Twitter, I have, what now, 22,000? Just under 22,000 tier 4 resources, Carbonadium, and that is with the Otherworld Battle shop coming back and refreshing here in a couple of days. Yeah, 6 days. So that's gonna be another 600 of each, putting me close to 23,000. That's a lot. That's a lot. Like, I could comfortably tier 4 any character, possibly 2 characters, and still have enough if they drop Doctor Doom, right? Because at most a native tier 2, tier 4, or whatever, a native tier 3, tier 4 sentry type is gonna cost me 10k. The other ones will cost me about 5, maybe 6. Boom, that's everything I got. So what am I hoarding for, right? Yeah, you can tier 4 2 new characters, Alex. Let's go. Make 2 videos right now. Pop off. Pop off, King. But there's like, what's the point? What's the point? You know? There certainly are arguments to be made. There certainly are arguments to be made for certain characters. Like, hey, Mr. Fantastic just came out. You can get Franklin's artifact with the new tokens. And then you can build a Fantastic Four team like Commander. That'd be cool. And you could do, you know what, Alex? You could do Mr. Fantastic and you could do Invisible Woman. Like, let's go, right? You could do both. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, sure, maybe that would be cool. Yo, you could do Beta Ray Bill. I heard he pops off. He's crazy for GBR and World Boss. And he's a support tier 4. You know what, honestly, the Beta Ray Bill seems pretty cool. I kind of want to tier 4 him. Oh, Alex, you don't have any blast female heroes. You could do Sharon, bro. She's classic, bro. She's classic, yeah. I guess. I mean, that could help me push stage 55 of Kang. Otherwise, whatever. There's no real need. Oh, bro. What about Spidey, bro? He's a classic, bro. He's a classic. What about Quicksilver, bro? He just came out. Ebony, for, you know, support PvP. You can get his artifact. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Listen, there's arguments to be made. But these arguments are kind of lame. But, man, I'm not really happy with what is to offer, you know? And that can be, really the result of 2 things, right? One, it could be the result that, you know what, realistically speaking, I have all of the good tier 4s. I certainly have some of the bad tier 4s. Let's not get started about Ant-Man and Professor X. But, hey, the argument could be made that you have all of the good ones, Alex. I have most of the native tier 2s. I got the native tier 3, you know. I got all the Epic Quest baddies and the seasonal uniforms, right? Ghost Rider, Black Bolt, Luna. I got all the good ones. I got all the necessary ones. And that's probably true. But the other problem is that if you look at tier 4s lately, and like in particular tier 4s this year outside of Gladiator and maybe Madeline and Silver Surfer, a lot of them are being built for Otherworld Battle, right? You have Ebony Maw, you have Quicksilver, you have Mr. Fantastic, you have Invisible Woman, you have Echo, you have Angel. Like, just off the top of my head, I named 6 characters that came out tier 4 this year. This is not scripted. Like, I didn't write this down ahead of time, and they're all built for Otherworld Battle. 6. And the problem is, frankly, Otherworld Battle rewards are not really enticing enough, right? I can stay in Challenger 1, which is the highest rewards I'm going to get, right? Because I'm not going to place, in the top whatever, right? What is it? I'm not going to place in the top 3. So I'm consistently placing in the top 100, genuinely. I'm consistently placing in the top 100 and getting the 700 for the season, whatever. And getting the challenger, you don't even have to place in the top 100 every week. You just have to place in for the weekly one. You just have to place in the top in challenger in the top 1,000, right? Because the score goes from 35 to 45. But I'm consistently in the top 100 without tier 4ing any of these characters. Like, look at this. I don't have, the only one I have tier 4 is Ghost Rider from what's being used here, right? That guy's using a tier 3 Ebony. Shout out to him. Shout out to my brother. But yeah. You know, like, you just, and what are the rewards for? Like, the rewards are not really enticing. I mean, right now my alliance is doing Alliance Conquest, so that is honestly something that you could argue is enticing, but I think that's really the issue that a lot of players are facing right now, is once you get the big ones out of the way, you tier 4 Jean, you know, you tier 4, like maybe Scarlet Witch, you tier 4 maybe Sentry, Luna, Ghost Rider, Hulk. You get these like big Magneto, you get the workhorse characters out of the way that do the majority of the heavy lifting for your account. And then you're just left like, okay, am I going to tier 4 Adam for PvP? He might fall off soon. Am I going to tier 4 Thanos? He doesn't have Revive or Immortality. I don't know. Am I going to tier 4 Wolverine? Oh, I have his artifact. You know, and it's all these just like nicky-nacky choices that shouldn't be, right? There should be really compelling arguments. There should be really compelling reasons to tier 4 these characters. Oh man, if I tier 4 Quicksilver, this is going to happen, and that's going to get me this reward that I really, really want, right? So I feel like this is sort of, in a way, in an underlying way, I'm sort of trying to help the devs and trying to speak for the players by saying that outside of a core collection of maybe, I would say, arguably like 10 to 12 tier 4s, I would say there's about a dozen, maybe a little bit less than a dozen tier 4s that have very compelling narratives for why you want to tier 4 them. Because they're going to do this really amazing thing for you, because they're going to progress your account, because they're going to make you competitive in some way, right? That's really good. That's really, really good. And then you have another like dozen or so that are kind of like fan favorites, like Captain America, like, you know, Venom, Iron Man, you know, Doctor Strange, etc., where they're not necessarily the best, right? But they have a compelling narrative outside of things. Like they have really beautiful animations, you know, they're really tied to the MCU or whatever, player sentiment. But then for everybody else, for the Miles Moraleses and the Storms and the Star-Lords, right? For the Blue Dragons and the Gamoras of Marvel Future Fight, it really is not compelling. It's not compelling. It's not compelling. And they need to find a way to make it compelling. And generally speaking, the way that you can make character progression compelling is through in-game rewards. Ta-da! So yeah, there is a new game mode coming. I would not recommend doing what I'm about to do if you are... Thank you for watching, by the way, to 7 minutes on a tier 4 video where I haven't tier 4 anybody yet. But basically, there's a new game mode that's coming. We don't know if it's coming in the next update, like not the one in a couple of days, right? But it's coming sometime this year. We don't know when. It could be coming in July. It could be coming in December. But we know there's another game mode that seems to be multiplayer. So we don't know if that's multiplayer PvP, multiplayer PvE. That may bring some compelling reasons to tier 4 Storm, to tier 4 Miles, to tier 4 Odin. Who knows, right? Who knows? And then you also have the update coming up where we know they're giving Human Torch a tier 4, and they're also giving Thing, you know, a uniform and an artifact. Maybe, right? Maybe there's going to be buffs that are going to make the Fantastic Four more compelling to tier 4. Make Mr. Fantastic, make Invisible Woman more appealing, more compelling tier 4s. Who knows? Right? Maybe they're gonna buff Otherworld Battle rewards to justify all these Otherworld Battle focused tier 4s. Who knows? Because if you look at the debuff list, they're really going hard, right? And I don't blame them. I think this is a good idea, but you have to pair it with compelling narratives. And there's really not a compelling narrative for Otherworld Battle because you can get by without the majority of these characters tier 4. But yeah, in any event, with a game mode on the horizon and an update around the corner, do not tier 4 anyone right now. Certainly do not tier 4 anyone right now. I'm going to tier 4 someone because I want to have a little bit of fun and because it's sort of overdue for me to tier 4 this character, particularly for my alliance being PvP focused. Now I have 21,735 Carbo. I'm not going to track the Soul of the Faltine because it basically just follows, right? It's always going to be a little bit gapped behind... you know, it's gonna trail a little bit on Carbo, but Carbo is really where you gauge the value, right? If this tier 4 costs me X number of Carbo, then I got a good deal. If it costs me Y number of Carbo, I got a bad deal. And for the first time ever, I'm going to be using the tier 4 upgrade system. I actually want to get through this because I'm hoping that maybe by next anniversary, they offer a way to reset this, maybe with crystals, maybe, you know, through something else. Maybe you burn a certain amount of tier 3 materials, tier 2 materials, and you can open up a 6th slot, a 7th slot. I think this is a really good system. I think it needs to be something that they come back to. Not right now. They don't need to come back to it right now, but they need to come back to it like by next year, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm going to be using it. I'm going to be popping off with a 40% discount, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I believe this is not the best way to do it because I believe you can choose a level 70 tier 3 or whatever, level 70 transcended, and you can start getting, maybe not, maybe you can't, maybe it doesn't matter. But anyways, all right, we're gonna stop stalling here. I'm gonna choose Hela. Yes. And I'm choosing Hela for, let me select Hela. I'm gonna lock this one in. Okay, we're done. I am choosing Hela. Hela's going to be my 40% support reduction or support cost character. And the reason why I'm doing Hela is basically threefold. One, I have a very good build on her already. So it's good to basically invest in something that I've already invested in. What I mean by good build, I have a brilliant regen, which I do want to re-roll to having penetration chance, but hey, it's there. And I have a 5-star artifact. I would have preferred a 6-star artifact, of course, but hey, this is very, very good for an immortality character. Now, the thing with Hela is her value is long-term, right? Because of this passive that they're not going to get rid of. They're not going to release a new uniform for Hela and get rid of this passive. So she will permanently be a character that buffs and sort of, buffs against heroes, right? Buffs the damage to increase versus heroes and decreases the damage received from heroes. So that's always useful for PvP. It's useful in some limited circumstances for Alliance Tournament, which of course my alliance is dominating, or the alliance that I'm in is dominating. It's not my alliance. And so that's useful there. But then she also has flexibility. She can be used in timeline battle with limited success, and she can also be used with a lot of success right now in other world battle. So for me, she hits sort of all the notes that I need. If I'm being honest with myself, is she the character that I want to tier 4? No. Personally, deep down, if I really wanted to tier 4 a character, I was thinking Quicksilver because he's so cool. I was thinking Odin because he's fun to play. Or I was thinking maybe Invisible Woman because she's fun to play and she seems pretty strong and she has the debuff thing. Or maybe even Beta Ray Bill. Honestly, those were ahead of Hela on my list personally. But I feel like at this point, it's better to just take advantage of a character here that I can get a good discount on. And 75% of the characters I just named, Beta, Quicksilver, and Odin, they're all native tier 2. So they don't even qualify for the discount. So anyways, let's see, with a discount, let's see what we actually end up rolling here. So we do get a discount. You can see the discounts plastered everywhere. This video also will serve as a relic, I guess, or like a sort of a bookmark in the history books of MFF. So you guys can see exactly what the discount looks like for players. We're just going to relay enhance here and see. We get 12, we roll a 12, we roll a 15, we roll a 3. If everything is under 20, I would say this is quite nice. We roll a 7 and roll a 28. Wow. So those were really good rolls until the end. The end was fucked up. That was insane. Rolling a 28 at the end there was crazy. And so that actually only cost me 800 carbo. So at this rate, it's going to cost me 3,200 carbo to do her gears, which is not bad. So actually, maybe the numbers don't matter because like the roll doesn't matter. That was really cheap. This is where people get tripped out. People have screenshotted this and they'd be like, Alex, it says there's a 40% discount, but I rolled a 30 on the gears. But if you look, the numbers are yellow. So you see how it costs 10 here to upgrade this gear. It costs 10 carbo. If you go to another character, right? Let's say you go over to her. Instead of costing 10, it costs 17. So there is the 40% discount. The 40% discount is already applied on the rolls. So the actual rolls you're going to see are still going to be in the, like 10 to 30 range, right? With 20 being the... that was really cheap. That was super cheap. But 20 is sort of like your average, right? If you see every gear that's about 20 or less on the rolls, then that's very, very good. You got lucky. If you get a couple of rolls over 20, that's okay. You didn't get too unlucky. If you get like a lot of rolls, especially on the last roll, if your last roll is consistently over 20, 25, 30, 28, then you get a little bit unlucky. But I think this was super cheap. I think this was super cheap. The skills don't get discounted. Oh, it's really weird. It's exactly the same cost. Strange. So I guess it's just the gears and the tier 4 enhancement, because this still costs 250 a pop, which is still 1250 life seed, and it still costs the same. Is it the same amount of gold though? Maybe it's less gold. No, it's literally the same amount of everything. It's the same amount of gold, and it's the same amount of life seed. It's kind of nice that I can go and quickly check with another character. All right, and then we get a discount here. So look at that. It only costs me 480 carbonadium, and then it only costs me 6 books instead of 10. So you get a full discount on everything. So when I hit this advancement button, you don't get a full discount on the gold here, but there you go. We got a brand new tier 4 minted Hela. I was meaning to do this while the CTP unequip event was going on, because I actually wanted to play her in PvE with a proc and sort of pop off with her crazy tier 3 skill, because it does a shit ton of damage. But I missed the timing. I was really busy over the weekend, and I missed the timing for that. But let's check this out. She gets 45,000 HP, which is crazy good. And now her energy attack is sitting at just under 90,000. So there you go. The Master of Souls, tier 4 Hela. And that puts me now at rank 586. That's not bad. I actually expected to be lower rank than that. I didn't expect to be so high rank. So there we go. Hela is now newly minted tier 4. And if we go ahead and check here with Carol, if we go to the skills, we go to the gears, I have 18,000. So we're going to just minus from 21, 18,473. So with the advancement, with the gears and the advancement, Hela only cost me 3,200 carbonadium. That is insanely cheap. That's crazy, crazy cheap. Just to put that into perspective, right? If I'm farming about 210 carbonadium, no, not 210. If I'm farming about 190 carbonadium a day, that only cost me 17 days of farming world boss. And that'll actually be shorter than 17 days, less than 17 days, if you account for events that give you tier 4 materials, if you account for like achievements that give you tier 4 materials, if you account for Otherworld Battle Shop opening. So that's like that's like 2 weeks, right? A little bit over 2 weeks. Now, obviously, you don't get the 40% discount more than once. I'm not, I'm talking like, oh, you get the 40% discount constantly. No. Now it drops to a 25% discount, but still, that's pretty damn good. That's 2 weeks is hella fast. That shit is hella fast. So yeah, I'll do a follow-up video showcasing her in PvP, showcasing her in Otherworld Battle. But mainly, I wanted to highlight the discount cost and why it's such a good system. I wanted to put the seed out there for the devs to consider, revisiting this system and updating it in the years to come, because I think it's a great system. And then also that the devs need to work on whatever this new game mode is going to be, this multiplayer game mode, and whatever future buffs they have for existing game modes, buffs to Conquest, changes to Conquest, Timeline Battle, Otherworld Battle, etc., these other game modes. You have to find ways to make compelling narratives for tier 4ing these characters. And, the compelling narrative being, if you get Franklin and you get his artifact and you tier 4 Mr. Fantastic and you tier 4 Invisible Woman, you have a pretty good Otherworld Battle team. That's not a compelling narrative. If the Fantastic Four were the #1 Otherworld Battle team by a long shot, like if everyone here in the top 10 was full Fantastic Four, if that was the case, if Davey was rocking full Fantastic Four, I would say, you know what? Okay, that's a compelling narrative. That's compelling. If you want to be the best, do this. I don't think that's the way that they should go, but I'm just trying to show the difference between what is an actual compelling narrative and what is not really a compelling narrative, which is what we have now. I don't think they should go down the route of releasing characters for an update and making them super OP so that everyone has to adopt them. You can see that going horribly wrong in a game like Marvel Strike Force, and if you go and check out their Reddit, that's literally what they're complaining about, because every time Strike Force drops a new team with new team synergies, it's basically just like adopt this team or die, right? Like buy in, whale out, max out this team and dominate, or you get shit on. I don't like that system. That's not what Marvel Future Fight needs. But we definitely need something a bit more compelling than we have right now for these sort of fringe tier 4 characters that are not marquee classics like Wolverine and Jean and Rogue and Cable and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was Hela. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you for sitting through the rant. I appreciate you. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content. Let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with my tier 4. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.